So this position is brought to us from Tata Steel Round 8 Gukesh versus Maxudaloo. And my brother watched this live. I was asleep, but he showed me this position because it's quite interesting how complicated this maybe seemingly simple position is. Now, I don't consider this position simple, but I know a lot of people might just because there aren't many pieces on the board. It seems a little bit straightforward. White has this incredibly strong pass pawn, supported by a bishop, but White's king is weak. Black's king is not exactly safe. There are obviously perpetual chances at every turn. But in this position, White played a6, which is a mistake. Now, this is the position he showed me, and he said it was black to play. Only one good move to keep the advantage. And the first thing I looked at in this position was obviously knight takes g3, because, okay, it's check, and we're breaking the king open, we're taking a pawn. The thing is, this really needs to work. Otherwise, this pawn cannot be stopped. So initially, I saw after king h2, knight f1 was my first idea that I saw. And I saw this, that he can't take with the bishop because it's pinned, and if he takes with the rook, it's checkmate. And I also saw, if he plays king h1 here, my idea was to play g4. And if he takes, this is mate. So he can't do that. But unfortunately, here, after g4, I made a silly mistake, and I missed that bishop takes f1 is possible now, because the queen is defending h2. So this queen is very well placed. The h2 square is one of the most important squares in this position. So this doesn't work. Next I was looking at, this is where I spotted the idea of, if I can displace the queen, knight takes g3, king h2, queen f4, and I have ideas knight f1 followed by queen h2 checkmate. But this is not an easy task. I looked at moves like rook c8, which looks to be very interesting, and my idea is, in this position I have queen f4, but unfortunately queen c3, and I lose. So this isn't working, but I was trying to make something like that work. Nothing like that works, but I wanted it to work. Then here I started looking at the move g4. And my idea behind g4 is that if he takes it, now knight takes g3, king h2, knight f1 check, and no matter where he goes, if he goes king h1, queen h4 check is again mating. He can do this, but that's okay, it's still checkmate. And if he goes king h3, I have rook c3 check, and he's getting mated this way. So this was my second idea that I found. It took Daniel a minute to refute it, but here he can just play a7, knight takes g3, king h2, and I have to give a perpetual. Now, an idea I tried to get to work here, I tried to get something working with my g-pawn, but I can't ever set up a smothered mate because I can't organize a position where my pawn is on g3 and my knight is on f2. I just couldn't get it to work. So this is not working. And then I'm still trying to get my g4 idea to work. So I try knight takes g3, king h2, knight f5, and here my idea was after a7, then I was going to play g4. And if he takes, this is mate, because the bishop is pinned now. And I wanted to put my knight back on f5 so that there are no chances of just giving endless checks, because I have f6, the c7 square is covered by the rook, and the e7 square is covered by the knight. So that's why I wanted to put my knight back on f5. And unfortunately, this doesn't work either because he just queens, and I'm just not in time to make anything happen because he just starts checkmating me in some way. So then I decided, okay, what about knight h4 here? And the big threat is knight f3 check followed by queen g1. I couldn't find a defense for this for the longest time because I saw after queen e5, king g6, the bishop is now pinned, so he doesn't have bishop e4 check as a resource. So after queen e4, king f6, he's out of checks. But what I missed, no, mind you, I was doing this all in my head from the starting position. After queens here, I thought I had knight f3 check, but he just takes it, and that shocked me when Daniel said that. So this doesn't work either. And then I decided to try and really get this idea to work of taking on g3 followed by queen f4, because when I pointed that out, Daniel said that that's one of the key ideas. So now I'm on the right track. I like knight f5 here for the reasons of not allowing any checks. And I felt like I was so close to finding the right move here after a7, but I had to go, and I had to go to a prior commitment that was starting in 10 minutes. So he showed me the move. So black to play here. I guess it's sort of simple at this point, but it wasn't in my head. So pause the video here. Okay, so this is very nice. We put the king on h2, so the bishop is pinned now. So now we play rook a2. And if he queens, we can take it, followed by queen f4, king h2, knight g3 check, knight f1, and this mate. So now it's working. And other than that, other than promoting, he doesn't have a whole lot of options. After queen e5, trying to give checks, black still has to play pretty accurately here. So f6, and with the knight still on f5, and the bishop pinned, we don't have to worry about something that happened in the game. So queen c7 check, king g6, and white is out of checks. And other than that, if he tries something like, I don't know, queen c7, rook takes a7 is still working, obviously for more than one reason. Okay, here I'm just double attacking it. But even if this move were possible, I still play queen f4 and go for this mate again. Unfortunately in the game, this was not seen. After a6, black thought for, I don't know, 10 minutes or something, a little over 10 minutes, maybe 15, and played rook a2 right away. And black is not losing, it's actually equal here. But somewhere in my analysis, I ran into this same trap. I don't remember the exact line. But now after queen e5 check, black's intention was to play king g6, and after g4, knight g3, but unfortunately this is the idea that was missed, bishop e4 check here, and white is actually lost. So black ended up playing knight e3, very sad move to make, and just ended up getting mated here. So, I mean, black needs to just take a draw, just go back. But black was still playing for a win, and he just missed this one idea. Very, very sad game. Glad it wasn't me. Just kidding. But I did run into this, I did hang my queen at one point during the analysis, so. Anyway, I don't know what this video was. I thought it was pretty interesting. So, I mean, if you liked it, I don't know, could subscribe. I make chess videos. Follow me on Twitch. I'm live many days a week, but sometimes I'm not. So you have to figure it out. Anyway, okay, bye.